So here we're in the pole shed where we store the hay that we make here on the farm at Amazing Discoveries. We have quite a few areas that is just big fields where we don't grow any vegetables at the moment. So we cut hay there and we dry it and then we bale it up. There's two ways how we bale it up, is either square bales. They're easy to handle by hand. And then we also make round bales that you can easily handle with the tractor and the forks. Hay can be used to feed your animals around the farm. If you have animals to help you work in your garden, you can use it for that. You can also use hay for composting. You can use hay for mulching your garden. And in some areas, people actually use hay even to start their fire in their wood stove. So there's many ways to use it. This year we're in a drought, but we're very blessed to be close to the lake. So a lot of our fields still grow really nice. So we got an extra heavy crop because of the heat and the water in the ground. Hay is very important to be stored dry, and most importantly, it has to be baled dry. If it's wet and then you store it in a big pile in the barn, it can create so much heat that it can start burning. So we made sure we dry it properly, then bale it, and then bring it in before the rain, and now it's kept dry and it'll last all winter long, and it'll supply for all the different needs of the farm. Here we're giving you a little view on our hay shed. We have been able to cut a lot of hay this year already on the farm here at Amazing Discoveries. We have quite a few fields. Some are close to the lake, so they're almost a swamp meadow, and some are up on the hill, more drier. Most of this is actually from the swamp meadows because we're in a drought this year. And so with the drought though, it's pretty hot and nice weather, so in the swamp it grows extra good. So there's three ways how we can harvest hay. Two of them are the most practical, and the two are making round bales or square bales. Square bales are small bales that you can fairly easily lift, and you can give small portions to animals or you carry them in the garden or wherever you use the hay. Round bales are not very easy to move by hand. Some of them you might be able to roll, but most of them need to be moved with a tractor and a front end loader. However, if you make a lot of hay, round bales are the way to go because they're much easier to pick up and bring into the barn. So we made a lot of hay. It's important when you cut hay that the weather is good for several days. You cut the hay, you dry it on the field, you turn it over several times with a machine. You can either use a rake or a tedder. And then when the hay is dry, we rake it up into rows and we use the baler. Here we have our square baler. Use the baler, it picks up the hay and it compacts it, presses it into small bales. Once the bales are made, you want to bring them inside quick because you don't want the rain to come in at night and then water your hay, and then it can start molding and rotting. If you're just starting out, you don't need all the equipment to make a little bit of hay. You can use a scythe to cut the grass. You can use a fork and a rake to turn it over and then dry it and rake it up. And you can just load it up on a little trailer and bring it home. If you make a lot of hay, you probably want to have a mower. You want to have a nice tedder and rake and then a baler. And then you'll need a tractor with a fork or other attachment, bale spear, whatever, to bring it all inside. Now this hay, if it's stored dry, will last for a long time. Can last more than a year, can last several years actually. If it gets wet, it can be dangerous because wet hay can heat up and start fires inside of the pile, and it can also start molding and rotting, which is very unhealthy for you to even breathe the mold and the dust, or to animals to eat it is also not very good for them. So storing it dry is very important, and in this shed there's enough air circulation, it stays dry, and that it can cure up a little bit, and then it'll last all winter for us.